What's going on, guys, and welcome to another Doctor Who review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 10th Doctor David Tennant story, The Waters of Mars. This is, I believe, kind of the Halloween special in the 2009 specials between Series 4 and Series 5. This is widely regarded as the best of the specials, and I mean, spoiler alert for this review, I would have to agree with that. It is a very good special. I really like this one. I've always enjoyed it quite a lot. So, yeah, let's get into this one with the cast. David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. Of course, David Tennant is so good in this episode. He is battling with his demons in this episode for sure, because he lands here, he doesn't know what it is, and then he slowly starts figuring out who these people are, where he is, and what's going on. And he's like, I can't help. This is one of the rare fixed points in history, fixed points in time that are actually kind of ahead of our real life timeline. A lot of the fixed points in time usually in episodes are things that have happened in the past in real life, like the Titanic sinking, like, World War One, World War Two, things like that. But here it's actually something in the future that's a fixed point, which I find really interesting. And he's like, I really can't help here, but he also has this moral thing of, oh, but I really want to help out. And yeah, it's this real kind of, catch-22 that he has in this episode. And I think David Tennant plays it off so well. Lindsay Duncan as Adelaide Brooke. I think Adelaide Brooke is such a great character. She really challenges the Doctor. I mean, this is a big challenge for the Doctor, especially at the end of this episode with what Captain Adelaide Brooke does at the end, and we will get to that, of course. But I think Lindsay Duncan, great actress. I have seen her in a couple of other things. I can't quite remember, tell you what they are exactly off the top of my head, but I have definitely seen her in other things since originally watching this, and she's a great actress. And yeah, the character of Adelaide Brooke is just such a good character, and yeah, just really challenges the Doctor in this one. Let's get into some points for The Waters of Mars. The Doctor, fun. This is a really funny little scene when, the Doctor gets captured by the crew, the Bowie, is it Bowie Base 1? I think that's the name of the it is Bowie Base 1 crew, and they're like, state your name. Adelaide Brooks like, state your name, rank, and intention. And he goes, the Doctor, fun. I love that scene. It's funny the way it cuts to it, and it's one of those scenes that I just find hilarious, and I love it so much. The first human colony on Mars. So yeah, this Bowie Base 1 mission, they are the first humans to go to Mars, actually set up a base, try and actually set up life on Mars, basically. They've got this whole garden, growing fruit, vegetables, plants, they've got water. It's such a big step for humans, and they are the ones that kind of really got this going. And it's just an interesting concept. It is something that, looking back on it now, almost 10 years later, and we're getting, I think we're still a fair way away from actually getting something like this happening on Mars, don't get me wrong, but we're getting closer. We're getting closer to that point for sure. And it's an interesting concept. The Doctor shouldn't interfere because this is a fixed point in time. So yeah, once the Doctor figures out what's going on, he is like, I cannot help this. What happens here has to happen. There are things that will happen in the future that only happen because of what happens here. And as much as, he's making friends with the people here and he's getting to know them, and he knows they're great people, he ultimately doesn't think that he should interfere here. But yeah, it gets the better of him and he ends up helping. Something in the water is turning people into monsters. So yeah, the Doctor ultimately, all he knows about this base is that the base kind of blew up. They ended up setting this, this bomb off to destroy the base, to destroy presumably whatever was going on here, so it never got out to anywhere else. And he doesn't know anything beyond that of why that was the case, but he's just about to leave, and then something starts happening. There's these creatures, people are going missing, there's these water creatures, what's going on here? And he's like, oh, I'm really interested in what's going on here. I shouldn't be, but you know what the Doctor's like, he just has to know what's going on. Why would a Dalek care about not messing with time? This is the only issue I have with this episode. I'll say that right now. The Doctor eventually he says to Captain Adelaide Brooke when he's about to leave, and she is trying to like stop him from leaving. She's like, "No, you're just gonna leave and stop her, and not help and just leave us to die, leave us to go through all this." And she basically forces him to tell her why he's leaving and what he knows. He explains everything, and then she talks about, when she was a young kid, a Dalek came up to her window, and I think it like killed her whole family or something, or her family went missing and she was left in the house on her own. But this Dalek goes to the window, but it doesn't end up shooting her. It could have just shot her, killed her right there, but it doesn't. It just flies away. Now, first of all, it's a callback to the Stolen Earth Journey's End, which I like, having that little callback there to link things together. But also, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, the Doctor's like, I think that Dalek knew that it couldn't kill you because you are a fixed point in time. If you died then, time would get completely screwed over. But why do Daleks care about that? Why does a Dalek care if it screws over time? Daleks are there. They're here to be the masters of everything, to absolutely dominate the world, the universe, for there to be no other living life forms in the universe, only Daleks. So why does a Dalek care if it kills this person and completely changes time? I mean, maybe it changes time for the Daleks as well, and that screws over the Daleks. That could be the case, but I don't know. To me, it just felt a bit like, why would a Dalek care about this? The water starts coming into the base and infecting people. So by this point, the Doctor's managed to, Adelaide Brooke let the Doctor go, and he's in this really, really epic cinematic scene, and he's walking away from the base. There's, sad emotional music playing. They're all rushing around to try and get to this rocket to get away, but, the creatures are on top of the building. They're putting water through the cracks in the building. There's water coming down. Every little drop, just one little drop touches someone and they are now infected. Slowly, one by one, the crew are getting infected and turning into these creatures. And, one of the guys is trying to get the ship prepared, but then he gets infected by the water, and there's water all in the rocket ship. So then he explodes himself in the ship. So now they don't have a way of getting out, and it's all just going wrong all around them. And the Doctor's just walking away and looking back like, oh my God, what am I doing here? And it's such an emotional moment, and really builds to the epicness that's about to come from it. The Doctor comes back to help because he now thinks he's in charge of time. So this is where the Doctor can't take it anymore. He comes back, he helps out, he seals up all the holes and gets the remaining living people, which is Adelaide Brooke, Yuri, and Mia. They're the only three that are alive out of the whole crew that were there. Gets them into the TARDIS and they leave, and he has a big kind of monologue, a big speech at the point as well, where he's like, I am the last one left, I am the last of the Time Lords, so why do I have to follow these rules anymore? My people, the Time Lords, they had these rules to not interfere with time, but now I'm the only one left, so I can do what I want because I am in charge. And he basically gets overwhelmed by power. Finally, he takes Adelaide, Yuri, and Mia back to Earth. Yuri and Mia are absolutely in shock from what's happened. They run off, Mia runs off and Yuri goes after her. So they survive. They're back on Earth now. They're alive, which they shouldn't have been. Adelaide Brooke is there right by her house. The Doctor is like, go in your house. You can, because he brought up early, her dying, then brought up, let her like great granddaughter or something become a space explorer and do the magical things that she ended up doing thanks to her mum. But now Adelaide Brooke's alive. She's like, well, I'm never going to, that's never going to happen with my granddaughter now. And the Doctor's like, well, you can just tell her the stories in person. But she doesn't think it's right. She thinks, nah, you've got too power hungry here. You do not have the right to do this. She goes into a house and she shoots herself. I mean, you don't see it, but she goes into the house, you see her grab this gun out, and then you hear kind of a laser shot, a flash, and she's presumed dead. And, well, she is dead because then the Doctor has this flash of the kind of news articles that he's been, looking at in his head throughout the whole episode, and it's now Adelaide Brooke died before it was on Mars. Now it's on Earth, taking her own life. So it's this real moment, and the Doctor is absolutely in shock. He's like, I have gone too far. This is where he realizes, I have become too powerful. It's gone too far for me. So that is my review of The Waters of Mars, an absolutely amazing episode. I love this episode so much. A rating out of 10. I've got to give it a 10 out of 10. The only issue I have with this episode is that Dalek thing, but I don't feel like that's enough of a thing to put this down to even like a 9.5, because I think everything else about this episode is so good. It's so well paced. It's emotional. It's got the Doctor at his most kind of, you know, chaotic in a lot of ways, and I just absolutely love it. It's such a good episode, so it is a 10 out of 10 for The Waters of Mars. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.